Okay, we is live. Welcome, people, to this Married at First Sight review show. I am Tasha, and I am with.
My name is Kasaun Wilson. Find me online at the Life of KAY, Life of Podcast, Apple and Spotify. Ready to continue another episode of this eulogy we call a season 12.
Not a eulogy. You have so many credentials, by the way. So many socials and places where everyone can find you. That's great. Before we fully get started, while people making their way in here, we're gonna have some church announcements.
Oh. I didn't know this was a church. Okay.
We're gonna have some church announcements. You keep freezing for me, by the way, like every now and then.
But I'm freezing?
Maybe, like every now and then you stop a little bit, but it could be me. But first announcement, if you're in here, go ahead and like this video. Second announcement, next week we will be starting at 9 because Kasaun is having a party.
Oh, yeah.
So go ahead and tell the people about it so they can know how to get to the Zoom.
Sure. It's called Kay's House Party. We do it every month. Hi, I'm Kasaun. I'm a comedian when I'm not talking about the train wreck that is Haley and Jacob's relationship. I'm a stand-up comedian. So every month we do what's called Kay's House Party. It's live on Zoom. DJ Chubby Swag. We play music. We play games, stand-up comedy, all live on Zoom. Completely free to register. I host it. It's a great time. Next Thursday. It's free. It's on Eventbrite, kasaun.eventbrite.com, or the link is in my bio on IG.
Got it. Okay, on Eventbrite. Because I was like, okay, there's a Zoom, but how do I get there? Wonderful. Our next church announcement is we have secured a speaker for the EOLC 2021 conference.
Let's go! Yo, if that's not the name of this show, I'm done.
I think our first speaker is Leandria Johnson. She's performing.
The thoughts and expressions of Telltale Tasha does not necessarily reflect the thoughts of Kasaun Wilson, the Life of Podcast, or the Generational Curse Breaker brand, as well as Kay's House Party. Yeah, I know. That's why I'm sure I'll give the disclaimer at least 2 more times tonight. Just thought I'd get that first one out the way.
Mike, you wasn't here last week. There's a conference, and the church is having a conference. It's Eyes Open, Legs Closed. Conference 2021.
Yes, that is that's our new singles ministry. It's called Eyes Open, Legs Closed, the EOLC
2021. So our first performer that we have scheduled is Leandria Johnson. Praise God. Go ahead.
It surely is somebody from this season who surely would have benefited from this conference, but we'll talk about that later, I guess.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and go in order the way that these people came on the screen. And we're going to start off with some people that I was right. I'm going to go ahead and say I was right. Where's she at? No.
Yeah, who you right about? Because I don't know.
I'm about to tell you. We starting off with Virginia and Eric. I said I was shocked at how attractive she was to him. And y'all was like, she was just drunk. She does not think he's attractive. She don't like him like that. She was just drunk. No, she actually likes him. The way he looks anyway. Maybe we'll see how their personalities, go on. But she thinks he's very, very cute. They are extremely affectionate with one another. And I just want to say I was right again.
Are you sure? You sure you were right?
I'm sure I'm right about that.
What? She's been drunk since the matchmaking special, right?
No.
I don't think I still don't think she's gotten over a hangover from episode 0.
She is attracted to him,
I
and her husband, Michael Scott, is very attracted to her. What did he say during the episode that reminded me of Michael Scott again? She was talking about if he ever used to party, whatever. And he was like, in college, I was pretty crazy. And he gave that look.
That means he got a B- one time. He did not do anything that crazy. There's nothing crazy about that.
He used to party apparently, but
he had a second glass of Kool-Aid one time, and now he did crazy things in college.
But you know what? And this is what I was trying to say last week about what Chris should have done when he was talking to her.
Here we go.
What?
No, go ahead.
When Eric was talking to Virginia and he said something about past relationships, he was like, I'll tell you in the morning. Like, give it some time. That's exactly what I said last week that Chris should have done. Why are you spilling all your beans out in the first 30 minutes? Let the moment marinate. And so Eric said, hold on, I'll tell you later on. We got plenty of time to talk about it. The next morning, he told her that he had been divorced. And she looked a little shocked. I guess anybody would, being in this process, because they'd never seen a divorced person on here before. So she was kind of just like, oh. And then she was like, I guess they had been in a relationship for 6 years, him and his ex-wife. And she was like, I've never been in a relationship that long. And I was like, well, you're 12. So of course not.
Wow. Okay.
Just kidding. She's 26, you all.
But she hasn't been in a relationship since she was 12. So pretty much. Well, I feel good that he came out really. He came out and just said it like, yo, listen, this was going to be on my mind all day. So it's just good to get it out. She sobered up real quick. I don't know how much she had to drink that morning, but that's the most sober moment she's had yet. She was like, yeah. And then he said, she sat up and perked up. But I'm good. You know what? I feel like, now, correct me if I'm wrong. I did change my prediction on them last week, right?
You did. You changed it to maybe.
Yeah. I told you I'm feeling good about them. So I just want to say that up front because I might change it again. But but I must say, I was happy. They would have had to get to it at some point.
Right.
You had to. You know what I'm saying?
Hi, Asia. Nice to see you back again. And yeah, I agree. It's good that he was up front with her. He was up front with her parents too. He was just like, hey, this is what had happened. It wasn't a real thing. We was just together and we wanted to be together at some basis, and she had to sign the paper.
You know what though? Let me tell you a moment that stood out to me though, is when he told her parents that, which he didn't know, but it actually goes back to the special where they were looking for the dresses. She's really close with her stepmom. So if there's anybody who was prepared to be with someone who was divorced, I feel like she was in a good position to be with someone that's divorced because she's seen her parents split up. But I feel like if she had a really terrible relationship with her stepmother, then it would have maybe taken away her enthusiasm to be with somebody who's divorced. But it seems like she's had a really good experience with divorce.
Whatever. Yeah, I mean, her mom's been divorced twice. Her mom's been divorced twice. Her dad has been divorced once. So she's not a stranger. But he did say, I have no intentions on getting divorced to your daughter.
Hey, he even tried to act like he didn't even know. He was like, listen, I don't even know what she is. She could be dead. She might be remarried. I don't know. And I was like, it's a G move right there.
He literally was like, look, who she's in, who knows where. I don't care.
She could be a Democrat now. I don't know.
Exactly. So that was fine. And then she went to talk to his mom and I guess his sister or something, and a bunch of women. And
his folks was lining her up.
I expect? This is the interviews for the Republican National Convention. You can't just like walk in. You have to do prep work. You have to get through the different stages.
She might be the only Democrat he has ever dated in his life.
She might not be a Democrat. You never really know.
They was grilling her, and he was coming off like he was running for office. He was like, "Listen, I just want to be upfront with you guys. I want to have a great relationship with you." I'm like, "Bro, you're not running for governor. Just calm down. I just want to be upfront. I was married before, and I want to have a great relationship." Like, bro, who was you campaigning for? And she didn't even care. She was like, "I just want to know if he gets wild." I was like, "You can't be." Kelly Loeffler don't want to hear that. You better stop saying words like wild to his parents.
And she was like, his mom was like, being a pilot's wife is hard, especially when you have kids. And she was like, kids? What you thought? It's like,
yo, the OG, her OG move though, when she was like, being a pilot's wife is really hard. He might be gone 4 days a week. And she was like, oh, that's fine. I'm just going to go to the club until he gets back.
She was like, that really works for me. Because
his mom was not expecting that. His mom was trying to scare her off. She was like, 4 days off where I could just club and do whatever I want and get drunk. Oh, that's fine. Perfect. And then when he gets back, we'll hang out. Like, she was gangster with that. Like, you ain't gonna scare me off.
She said that, but I don't think she really means it. She literally has abandonment issues. I don't. The way that she on him, like right now, she gonna miss him.
The way she's drinking, she might not. The way she's drinking, she might not even know he gone. She gonna go to the club and spend all that Delta Airline money. It's a wrap.
But I didn't know that his mom was. I didn't remember that his dad was a pilot too. So if anything, she does have his mom to talk to, and at least have somebody to help her through it, which I think is good.
Yeah. Okay.
What? You don't think so?
I mean, her mom don't really come off like
his mom.
His mom, yeah, his mom don't really. I don't know.
She don't come off as friendly.
Not she doesn't come off as the friendliest people I've seen on this show. Plus when I respect her a lot. When Virginia said, I was about to call her Ashley. I don't know why. She just comes off like Ashley.
I give her that. That's a good one because we couldn't figure out what to call her, but Ashley seems much better.
Yeah. The first joke that Eric's mom put on, like the first joke she ever cracked, she was like, "Cause I'm sure I'm looking towards some grandkids." And Ashley didn't even blink. She was like, "I'm 50-50 on that." So.
She's like, I mean, you want to toss a coin now, or you want to wait till we get back from the honeymoon? Or...
We can arm wrestle for it, but like I'm trying to get to this Patron right now, and you are having all this frivolous conversation. Like, she's a gangster. I like her. I like the two of them together for some reason.
Really? I like them so far.
But what do you have them as?
I'm not gonna lie. I like them so far. I had them as no.
All right, and I have them as, so I'm more optimistic about them than you are. So I just want to say that.
I wasn't changing nothing until after the honeymoon. I haven't changed in a couple weeks. So
you're right.
And I ain't changed in the night either.
They stayed pretty steady. They had a good time. Because he's been I'm wrong for stereotyping people, but is it crazy to me that she ain't never been to Vegas? I was like, you ain't never been to Vegas?
At 26, and the way she parties, that was interesting. But I mean, I ain't never been to Miami, so it's not like it's one of those things. And I travel a lot. Like I travel a lot.
Like where?
I like going to other countries and stuff.
Oh, so Miami.
There's actually a video. What'd you say?
It's like I don't get enough points to go to Miami, so I can't. I'm not.
If you guys watching this, if you go on my channel, I have a playlist of travel vlogs and things. Check that out. I have a video from where I went to 12 countries in 3 years. Watch that vlog. Anywho.
All right, everybody. After that, go watch my blog. I'm on a Chinese bus going back and forth to New York. I'm on one Greyhound bus for 12 hours. That's the whole blog. It's just chopped up into different parts. It's every stop on the Greyhound bus from Jersey to Durham, North Carolina. So go check that out. I'm joking. I ain't got no blog.
What else did I say about them? They're very affectionate, which I think is good. I am realizing how much affection plays into the success of a relationship. So, so far I'm liking them. Go ahead.
I never want to hear the phrase "pound town" ever again. Please, God, no. Please.
We gonna get there. Because Clara, what?
She said he didn't ask me to go to Pound Town. Like, what?
Right. I've been taking the Chinese bus a number of times. I'm not too good for the Chinese bus at all.
It'll get you there. They'll stop in every suburb of the city you came out of. You'll get there next Tuesday, but you'll get there cheap.
Asia, why you say this? What you thinking? And why you answer that? Let me get them off of here. We can go. Unless you got anything more to say about Virginia and Eric, that's all I got to say about them.
They were pretty chill. They're pretty chill
so far. I don't have much to complain about. If you're just coming on here, like this video. Thank you.
What up, guys?
Let's see. And the next people that came on was Haley and Jake from State Farm.
Do we have to talk about them?
Hey, Chola. It ain't gonna take but 5 minutes. Where's that banner at? Haley and Jake.
This is just
these two, the driest couple on the planet. The driest Jake. I'm not even gonna say Haley is dry. Jake is so dry.
But he's a good person, though.
That's fine. I think that he's probably a great person. It was just so painful to watch. It was very stressful to me to watch just how he keeps telling the same story over and over and like, okay, we know about your hot tub and your sauna and your beach, sir. We get it. Okay, you told me last night. I know.
He just kept talking about steak and eggs. Like, come on, man. And the editors, I just want to say the editors are really ignorant for this segment with Jacob, because they went back to the wedding where he talked about the steak and eggs and the beach for like 15 minutes, and then they cut back the way he was talking about it again. I'm like, man, y'all editors are trash, man. Why y'all gonna do that? Because they
need to let you. Okay, that he that's all he has for himself. They're trying to let us know that that's all he has going for himself at this point. That's all he thinks he has going for himself. He seems like a cool dude. I think when you get to know him, but it's just like, come on, let us get to know you. He did come out of his shell a little bit when he was showing into the little wardrobe, and you called it. He's big on the fanny packs. You called it last week.
I'm trying to tell you, man. I know the profile.
Fanny pack central. With a speaker, which actually was kind of cool. I would actually wear that, by the way. I would.
He was like, "Yeah, I can play Neil Diamond on this." I was like, "Neil Diamond, okay." All right, I see where we're going here.
But I was right about this too. Let's go back to the after the wedding. She did talk to him. Y'all was acting like she didn't want to even look at him. She just wanted to go to bed. She didn't even want to turn his direction. She did talk to him. They just didn't put it in the episode, okay? Last week. But this week they showed her talking to him in the bed. They had a little conversation, and she wanted the people to leave her room. That's all. I feel like she's trying.
Are you serious?
She's being.
Oh,
yes.
Are you serious? All right. So. Okay.
This is how I feel. This is exactly how I feel. When Chris said that, I was like, I feel the same way. He was like, I feel really sorry for her. But no, he's a good dude. But yeah, that's exactly how I feel.
I'm not agreeing with anything Chris says for like 2 weeks. I don't care what he says.
That's the problem. Everybody hates him so much they're not actually listening to anything he's saying.
If Chris said OJ did it, I would go back and argue that OJ did not do it.
That's how the entire internet. That's how the entire internet is acting right now. Anything he says, it got to be the opposite.
All right, I know we're not here yet. Can I just ask you a question? And you can just say yes or no or explain yourself. Is he the most hated person in Married at First Sight history? It's like 3 weeks in, and I think there's a case that he might already be the most hated person in Mavs history.
So if that was from last week, he was. Last week, he went down as we have to cancel the entire production. This show is fake. They're liars. Everyone has to get sued. Everyone's going to jail because of this man. That's how the whole internet feels.
It has not let up. I thought old boy with the bipolar joint last season was bad. What's my man's name?
Last season, what was last season? Last season was New Orleans.
Nah. I'm talking about the dude from DC. The dude that was wilding.
Brandon?
What's my man? I thought Brandon, I call him Lil Kanye. I thought Lil Kanye was gonna be him and Michael, but Chris ain't got nothing on Michael. Them people done found out his social security number, his whole life. They coming for him. He had this, I'm sorry. We'll get to him later. We're talking about Haley and Jacob. We'll save that for later. But
hi, Reese. Thanks for joining us.
What up, Reese? Haley, you think Haley's really trying, and she just wanted the crew to leave so that she can talk to Jacob, and I could not disagree more. I think
you guys disagreed last time, and y'all tried to make it seem like she didn't say nothing to him. And
I'm trying to tell you, listen. Let me tell you what's going on. She wanted the crew to leave so she didn't have to fake having to talk to him for any more. When that camera left, she turned over and didn't say a word to that man. Do you hear me?
I don't think that.
I
don't think that.
Word.
And she's being way more open-minded than I thought she would after that wedding. Even after we ain't talk about the actual parent meetings, but after the parent meetings, like, she's been listening to him, she's been responding. You can tell it's not the best situation, but she's like, she ain't checked out yet, which I commend her for, because if it was me,
what?
You think she's checked out?
Tasha, what are you supposed to do if it's just you and another person and 3 cameras and that person just telling you about steak and eggs incessantly? Of course, you can
literally check out, just like Christina was doing with Henry, and they was just sitting there in silence. Henry wasn't saying nothing, she wasn't saying nothing, and then that period.
Yo, let me just tell you this. Haley went to the bathroom 13 times last night.
No.
She did not go to the bath. She didn't have to go to the bathroom all them times. She went to the bathroom every 5 minutes. Every third time he said steak and eggs, she was like, excuse me, let me go powder my ear. And she left. She was gone. She came out the bed, and he was just sitting in the bed with his shirt off half the night because she just couldn't take it.
About? She is being open-minded. She's laughing at his little corny joke. She's obviously not like, oh, I like him, but she's not like, I'm really over this. I'm ready to just be at my house. She's open-minded about it. She's trying to be different. Usually she says after the first date, there don't be no second date, but she's literally she has not checked out.
You know the sad part? He's like, I think there's a really good vibe here. And I hope it's both ways. Yeah, Asia, I was just he was like, I feel something here. She's like, on decision day, when she says no, she's gonna say the same thing that she's been saying now. And here's the deal. This is how you know she don't care. This is how you know she checked out. She's already saying stuff that people say like 2 weeks before decision day. She's like, listen, I gotta give it a shot. There's a reason why the experts put us together. I'm not gonna quit. Like,
people always at the beginning.
Nah,
that's
not
a
that
normal line for the beginning. Yes, it is.
She heard him talk about steak and eggs twice, and she's like, I'm gonna keep trying. It's been 2 days.
Reese, she just met him. What do y'all want from her?
No.
What do y'all want from her?
Listen. Body language isn't just about the position of your body or having conversation. This man, when I tell you, it was like 6:30 at night. He was already in the bed, leaning toward. He was all leaning towards her, trying to give her. He was ready to talk about nothing. He wanted to talk about the different angles of whatever beach he made. Like, he has nothing to talk about, but he's ready. He's ready to not talk about it with her next to him. And she like lays in the bed, like very victim-like. And she turns to him, but it's very much like that. She kissed him one time and then she like covered the bed. Anytime you put the covers up here and you just lay with your head, nobody lays like that. She looks like a victim. She looks like a hostage.
What's funny is she kissed him that one time, and then they edited it in 2 more kisses, like she actually kissed him 2 more times. I was like, don't play with us.
Yo, her body language in that bed is some trash. She is
okay. Literally the first night they met, but after that, the next morning and the next day, it has not been that closed off. They ain't been like super affectionate or anything, but like I said, she has not checked out, and she's being open-minded. I don't know.
We're gonna have to agree to disagree on that one. I think she's gone.
We are just not watching the same thing.
No, we're definitely watching the same thing. I think they're this season's version of Henry and Christina. That's what I think.
Not yet, but maybe soon. Because like I was saying before, I was saying that they need to find some commonalities early on, and they haven't found any real commonalities at all, aside from the fact that she knows how to make steak. It's been 2 days and they still don't have nothing in common. So
that man said he tried to. He said, "Hey, that's what your dad and he told me that steak is you know how to sear a good steak. You know that's my favorite food." And she was like, "Yeah."
She was like,
and he had nothing else to say. That joke was awkward. That was painful.
She was like, because he was like, your dad said it's your favorite. She was like, I mean, I like steak, but I like a lot of other stuff too. So I like.
She shut that conversation down. That's how you know somebody's not interested, is when you can clearly see someone's attempting to make an effort at banter, and she just shut that joint down. He said, "Hey, you know,
she shut it down."
This man has talked about nothing but steak.
So it ain't that she shut it down. She's just like, okay, what else?
Listen, he has talked about nothing but steak. I think other than the fact that he told her his name was Jacob, I think the only other word that he has said since this show started was steak. Then she finds out that she is great at making steak, which she never said to him, even though he's talked about steak this whole time.
I know. I was like, why didn't she say that? And her dad was like, she steers
because she didn't want him to know.
She said that. That literally could have been like a cute thing to have in common. And she was just like, I mean,
because she's not interested in him. Do you understand? Listen, if I was getting married at first sight and I told my wife, and all I talked about was Nikes, and she's an executive at Nike, and I heard her dad has to tell me, and I'm like, hey, heard you work at Nike. Sure would like those new LeBrons. And she's like, yeah, but I like Reeboks too. And she just shuts it down and act like she didn't hear it. Like, yo, she hates my guts. She's gone, fam. I don't know what you watching. She's gone.
Give it some more time. Just give it some more time. I haven't given up on them yet. But his parents was just as dry as him. She was trying to talk to them, and they was like, I mean, I don't know. He's quiet. He doesn't. I don't know. I don't really know him like that. Like what? What is going on?
That's a fact.
And then when he was talking to her people, her brother was like, son, I'm over this conversation. You've been saying the same thing for the past 6 hours. What else?
Yo, his mom said, since he was 5, his teachers were saying, are you 40? She was like, since you were 5. Like, yeah. You basically just call him a 5-year-old bland old man. Like that's
my man is Benjamin Button.
How your mom low-key just tell somebody you've been boring since you was 5? You know how much personality you don't have to have? Oh, it was 6?
Literally.
Yo, do you know how much? That's 6. Ain't that like the first grade? How you boring in the first grade?
Yeah, poor thing. Chris was definitely right about that. I feel sorry for Haley. But I don't think Jake is a bad guy. I don't.
I feel worse for him because he genuinely thinks they're growing.
And you know what else was funny to me? It's like they already have nothing in common, right? And so they're going on the honeymoon. The mom is like, oh, she likes to dive. And he's like, Yeah, I almost killed myself. Don't do that. Can't do that. Like, sir, anything that she likes, you're literally anti.
It's almost like
against everything that she likes. I was like, okay.
They are legitimately playing tic-tac-toe. For every O she puts down, he has an X, and vice versa. She hates every shirt he put in that bag. She hates every shoe, every fashion choice, everything that was in their vows. Literally hates. I don't think she's found one thing. Steak is her favorite food, and I think on that couch, she made a conscious decision to start hating steak just because he loves it. You'll never see steak. She's gonna become a vegan until decision day. That's how much she hates this dude.
Yeah, for sure. She'll be vegetarian by the end of this. By the end of all of this. But I'm done with them. So moving right along, the next people that showed up was the people who were not going to Pound Town.
Oh, that's such a weird. I just don't like the way those two words make me feel when they're together. I don't like
Clara and Ryan Oubre. So wait, when he said that she would have swiped left, but she can't because they're married.
Yo, right. Okay. I'm so glad you brought that up. That was the realest statement in the history of Married at First Sight. It came from such a real place in his soul.
He was like,
and it was so true. He encapsulated the moment so well. He was like, listen, I know with all of this, if you had seen it, you would have swiped left, but you can't because we're married. And she felt it, he felt it, and we felt it.
That's you?
Deep. I felt that because I feel like she, when you're on Twitter, like when I'm on Black Twitter and Black women post, I feel seen. I feel like in that moment she felt like, yeah, he really sees me. Because I definitely would have.
We are getting somewhere. He understands.
But I'm stuck and he knows it.
But yeah, Clara and Ryan Oubre. Who knew Ryan's parents are ministers?
Yeah, I didn't see that coming.
Did not see that coming. Clara went to Bible college.
Didn't see that coming.
Did not see that coming. Chad was at brunch. Didn't see that coming.
Oh, look at that. Conveniently brought a way to bring him up. Okay, I'm sorry. If you're new to this unnamed program, one telltale Tasha has a crush on Ryan's brother. And Lifetime was so gracious enough to leave him in every single episode. So she has a reason to bring him up.
He was there for support for his brother,
He has no relevance to this episode. Why are we talking about this man?
Great guy.
He was just sitting there. He didn't even say anything. He had no lines.
He did. He said one thing. It was very impactful. But Ryan, so it's crazy how like this entire season, I feel like this is the most spiritual group of people to be on Married at First Sight I've ever seen.
You think so?
Which season has more?
I think I paid my Wi-Fi bill, but I'm not sure. Is it me?
Am I freezing?
I think, you're freezing to me, but I could be freezing to you.
You've been freezing to me. Somebody, Asia, tell us who's freezing for real.
I just want to say for the record that our bill is on auto pay. So I know I've paid. Mine.
I've definitely paid my Wi-Fi. I turned off the Wi-Fi phone to make sure I get cell signal or Wi-Fi.
Did Tyler Perry Studios, did they pay their Wi-Fi bill for the month? Or
I haven't had my meeting with Tyler for this month yet. It's usually on the 5th.
Are they shooting Medea gets married at first sight across the hall?
Oh, it's me. Dang.
See, there you go. You said one good thing. You said one good thing about Chris, and now your Wi-Fi don't work.
Give me one moment. Okay, so I'll talk to the people.
All right, so listen, man. I just want to let everybody know we're watching y'all comments live on YouTube and all that good stuff. So interact, talk with us, man. I want to hear y'all thoughts because Tasha's here. I don't know if she can hear me, but some of her opinions don't make any sense at all. She just be saying anything. She think Chris and Paige gonna make it still. I don't know. And we're gonna talk about it.
I didn't say I think Chris and Paige are still gonna make it.
That's what you said last week. You said give him a chance. You said give Chris a chance. You said you don't mind him being your youth pastor, or you want him to pastor. Something like that. I don't remember. It was something to that effect. It was something to that effect.
That's hilarious.
It was something. Thank you. It's auto pay. It is the favor of auto pay on my life. May God,
let's big up you, because from the first episode to now, people have been like giving you a lot of compliments on your setup.
You know why? You know why?
You came from the bottom.
Because Tasha asked me to do this, and she did not tell me that she was filming from Tyler Perry's yoga studio with that plant. She done conveniently posted in that background. She ain't watered that plant since we started. It might not even be real.
This is a fake.
Okay, I knew. See, I didn't even know it was an arm's done got your Pilates studio at Tyler Perry Studio in here, and done really got us together. And she did not tell me anything. So I have my little stand up stuff here. We just moved here, so that's why you see all my books in the background. We ain't even built a bookshelf yet. So, but she has clearly, you know what I'm saying.
I'm gonna give me a little ring light too, so I can be lit up too.
I
tried to light up the bag, but it's not working that well.
All right, Mike, you got one more shot. You got one more shot to take at me. You got one more shot.
But that's a little better. Okay, so yeah, I feel like this season has the most openly spiritual people on Married at First Sight. No, because apparently Vicente is all about God. Chris and his people, they was pastors. He was a minister. Paige is constantly hearing from the Holy Spirit. Chris's family, his parents is ministers. They stay in church. We know Eric's mom is at the church. I don't know which one, but she's over there. The only people that we don't know about, who are these people named? The only person that probably don't go to church is Virginia and Clara.
So
I'm just like throwing that. I just feel like people keep bringing up God in this season. I'm like, wow, this is a lot. This is interesting. See,
but that's because you're in Atlanta. When you born, they give you a Bible and a bottle of syrup, your waffles and chicken. It just comes with growing up in Atlanta. Yo. And I cannot agree with you and say this is the most spirituality of the season.
I don't mean like genuine, like
this is the most people who have talked about spirituality.
That's what I meant.
And that is as far as it goes.
That's what I'm saying. This is season the most people have just constantly been bringing up the Lord or God. So I thought that was very interesting.
Okay.
But yeah,
whatever Holy Spirit told Paige that this was a marriage is the same Holy Spirit that told them false prophets that Trump was going to win again.
So, so Clara went to Bible college, which was that really shocked me. But apparently, she went to Bible college and then never went to church again. So I don't know what they taught her over there, but it wasn't good. It
was a heck of a graduation day, wasn't it?
She never went to church again. But his family is like big into the church, and they they plan on. Apparently, so that's a big thing for them. So Claire is nervous about the fact that she doesn't go, and is nervous about what his parents will think about that. They didn't bring it up. They didn't pressure her about it or anything. But his mom was like, "You need, as long as you love him and honor God." And Claire was like, "Mm-hmm."
So let me ask you a question. What sense do you get about his connection to church? Because I had more of an impression that he was more concerned about how they would feel about her spirituality than how she would connect with his. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I feel like he's more because she doesn't go. So they would be.
Do you get the impression that he goes though?
I feel like he goes. He seems like he doesn't seem like somebody who's like goes out and evangelizes every day, but like he seems like somebody who goes to church, sits somewhere in the middle and pays his tithes and goes back home.
But I'm just saying, because I'm not saying that he didn't. I'm just saying he didn't talk about church at all during his whole dating profile. He was just doing push-ups and pull-ups in his backyard.
And that's, I mean, I don't know.
Not to say he's not spiritual. I'm just saying.
But he's, out of all of the guys, he seems like the most principled, like disciplined to me. Like his demeanor is very calm. He's very from the beginning, I felt like he was a really good guy. Like he just seems like a stand-up guy to me. And he's been consistent throughout the entire show. He has not switched up at all. He wasn't over there with Vicente and the stripper. He, there you
go. You always find a way to throw shade at people we ain't even talking about. We weren't even talking about Vincent. All right, you know what? Go ahead.
And then, he wasn't like, we haven't seen him talking bad about anybody really. Like he's had like small opinions here and there, but like he don't seem like, he seems pretty standard to me. But yeah, I can see him go to church.
He seems pretty grounded. I'm just saying he never really talked about. He doesn't come off as the kind of guy, or he hasn't come off yet as the kind of guy who expects her to go to church more so than he's saying that his opinion of how his parents look at her is more important than him being like, we go to church every Sunday. Like he hasn't really said that yet.
Yeah, I think it's going to come up though.
You think so?
The way that I saw a preview about that, because she asked him in the preview if he would raise his kids in church. And he was kind of like, yeah. She was like, but she said she wasn't. She just said she wouldn't pressure them because she felt like she didn't have a choice, and it kind of pushed her away.
Yeah, we talked about that. Are you gonna give your kids a choice?
To go to church?
Yeah.
Probably not. You just get up and come on.
Okay. Yeah. They seem pretty solid to me, so I'm good.
Oh no, yeah, you. I'm glad you had to change your heart, because I was very confused in the beginning. You were so anti them.
Let's not act like all of your choices are on solid ground here. Okay.
My choices, even just because the prediction says what it says on the paper doesn't mean I haven't changed it in my mind. I'm just not physically changing it on the paper until after the honeymoons, so I can solidify. Because remember, you said we can only have 3 changes.
Tasha,
I can't keep going back and forth.
We spent last week's episode was 2 hours, and an hour of that episode was the whole chat trying to explain to you why your mental stability might be in question based on some of your opinions.
I agree, Reese.
That's what I'm saying. To me, he don't really come off as somebody who is really strict about his own spirituality. I feel like he does enough for his parents to be comfortable, and then she'll probably have to do the same.
Yeah. I don't think he's teaching Sunday school. He might, but it doesn't come off that way, but he go. So when he was talking to her parents, I liked how self-aware they were about communication, and like where they lacked in hiding how they communicated and when they had disagreements in front of their kids. And you don't have kids, right?
No.
But so like, what do you think about that? This is kind of an aside, like, because of course you don't want kids to see fussing and fighting all the time, but like, where's the balance, right? Because apparently it's making it gave her like an unhealthy view of how to communicate with a partner. But like, where's the balance in that? Like, how do you show children how to healthily?
I just want to say for the record that the Bible says a double-minded man is unstable in all their ways, and that scripture applies to your Wi-Fi in this moment.
Did you hear me though?
You know, it was in and out, but I feel like I put enough pieces together to answer the question. So here's what I'll say. I think what she said, I think what Clara said at the end when they were chopping it up after talking to their parents is what I think. I think that's like the right way to go about it. She said that what happened was she felt like relationships, or this is my impression of what she said, is that relationships didn't have to be confrontational. She spent a 3-year relationship with somebody she's not even with, and they never argued, and then they just broke up. Like, okay, good grace on God's grace on your life, because that's great to be in a relationship for 3 years. But what she said was that in lieu of being able to incrementally discuss issues as they went along, that they essentially stuffed conflict until it just blew up and it ended up being bad. So I honestly think, like, for me, I've always been non-confrontational. And I've had to learn how to confront confrontation in a way. I think balance is making sure that you're not on either extreme, because some people explode, but then there's some people like me who implode and they don't get it out. They don't share their grievances. But if you feel like you've been wronged or you feel like you need something, you just never share it until it becomes either like some people blow up, some people eat, some people get into destructive patterns, some people do a whole lot of other things that if you just learn how to communicate them, they would. And that's something that honestly I'm actively growing in. I feel like my marriage will be infinitely better when I master that skill, and I'm still growing in it. And you shouldn't be married to somebody who doesn't understand you're still a work in progress. However, I feel like Clara said the thing that I would say, which is she's learned that it's not about avoiding conflict, but how to navigate through it the right way. And I feel like Ryan is a perfect person to help her through it, because he knows how to, kind of navigate those things. Like, even when she was like, "Oh, I don't like Breaking Bad," and he was like, "Oh, well, I think that's a good thing, because then we can help each other find new things." It's like, I feel like that mentality of let's see how we can make this into a good thing or how we can make it work. You know what I'm saying? I think is right. I think communication is not about being right or wrong, but just making sure your relationship is healthy. And that means that I may not be right, but if we're healthy, then we're good. Mm-hmm. And I think they're on the road to get there. I really do.
I do too. I really like how open they are and how they're communicating. Stuffing feelings teaches kids that their feelings aren't important. And I agree. And I think that it's like a tight line to walk when you're parenting. I don't have kids either, but I have parents. And it's like,
sure.
seeing or not seeing, that example in front of your face, and like feeling like everything's always okay or everything's always not okay without seeing how things are resolved is a tight line to walk.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
So, like, here is the pattern that having me on your show is not, because I end up talking about life when I watch this show a lot. So I'll ask you, sometimes it brings up life questions. So, like, is there, if you don't mind me asking, are your parents married?
Mm-mm.
Mine aren't either. So is there something about like a pattern in relationships that you don't want to take or do want to take based on like your parents?
I think I've seen like past aggressiveness, and I don't want to be like that. Like, I'd rather openly confront something when I'm ready than just try to like be passive aggressive or like say petty things or do little things that you should be seeing and understanding why I'm doing these things because you were wrong type of stuff.
You be hiding your boyfriend's insulin and all what? you be hiding their daily pills.
What? We have gone away from this. First of all, y'all, I don't have a senior citizen boyfriend. Okay, let's get that out of the way.
You be hiding this Kango hat before he go out to the church house.
But yeah, I'd rather. Yeah, I don't like passive aggressive. I'm sarcastic though. I say little sarcastic things here and there, but like I'll still say what I really want to say also at the same time, like in the same sentence.
Okay.
So yeah.
Just asking.
But that's all I really have on Claire and Ryan. I think that they're gonna have a healthy relationship if they continue to communicate the way that they're communicating now. They'll be fine. You know, she said they've built a solidified friendship in 2 days, so I think that they're gonna be great.
Yo, she reminds me of Beth. Do you remember Beth?
Toxic Beth, yes.
Toxic Beth.
Yes, Beth, the one with who are you talking about?
Beth was great. I love Beth
with the red hair.
Yeah, she's still married.
And they both toxic. That was very toxic on the show. They was cussing each other out, leaving and not coming back. And
I mean, it was rough.
What are you talking about?
It was rough.
It was toxic. I couldn't believe they stayed together. I'm like, if anybody was to break up, it's supposed to be them. Why did they stay together?
No, if it was anybody, it was Miles and Karen. But that's a story for another day.
No.
But Beth was cool. Like, all right, Beth is a lot, but like in a really endearing way. To me, like she's funny to me.
Yeah, because you're not the one that was with her.
Yeah, that's true. I like Beth.
She's an interesting character to watch. Thank you, Brittany. Exactly.
Wow. Really?
Yes. What?
Well,
y'all cussing each other out, and even after they decided to stay together, after the show. On the reunion, she said she had left him shortly after because her dog died. Or her dog got sick or something and she couldn't stay with him. She was like, I gotta go. I knew my dog longer than you. And left him.
Yeah, Beth is y'all acting like y'all never had a bad week in a relationship.
Week? Bye.
They were happy. Y'all hating. Beth was cool. She was funny. And I feel like Clara's that same way. Like she's a lot, but not in a bad way. Like she's funny to me. Like it's funny.
That is the worst comparison of couples I have seen you do.
Are you serious?
Yes. Beth and her husband were terribly toxic.
No. I'm not talking about how they were to each other. I'm just saying her personality is a lot. Like Clara is a lot.
You think she's a lot?
She is a lot.
How was I getting that?
She spent like 5 minutes, like my hair and the ponytail, and what's happening?
She's a regular girl. Exactly. She said, "Did you just call me?"
I mean, she was a lot. She was a lot.
Anywho, we finna move on. Unless you have anything more to say about them.
Nah, I feel like I like them a lot. I feel good about what I predicted with them.
You and Asia is best friends, okay? But exactly, they was very.
Thank you, Asia.
They were very chaotic.
Hold on. So you telling me y'all don't know nobody who's a little crazy, but they cool? That's half my family. Half my family is chaotic, but I love them. They're really nice. They're great people. Like y'all telling me everybody in y'all life is even keeled and got their life right with the Lord. Like some of y'all crazy.
Some of us are crazy.
I mean, depending on your opinion of the next two couples, you might be one of the people I'm talking about, Tasha. Here we go. Great segue. Here we go. Take it away, Tasha.
Our next couple is Paige and Chris. And I'm gonna let you go first while I make sure I get my Wi-Fi together so I don't be freezing and stuff.
All right. Let's all just take a
Go ahead
second.
and talk.
I am talking your Wi-Fi. All right. Let's all just take a second and just have a moment of silence for Paige and Chris. Can we all let's take our time with this. Let's all just everybody bow your heads and close your eyes and just say a quick prayer. All right, let's go. I think the hardest thing about talking about Paige and Chris is talking about where to start. I think Paige and Chris, I think nothing exemplifies their relationship more than Tasha's Wi-Fi in the moment. I think her Wi-Fi is exactly how I feel about Paige and Chris. I think nothing could express my sentiments more than what Tasha's Wi-Fi is doing right now in this moment. Like, it's here, but it's not. It shouldn't be here. It shouldn't be the way it is. This is not. It's not good. Oh, look, you got high definition again. You call Tyler real quick. I want to say, here's what I'm going to say. I saw a post this week from Apostle Matthew Stevenson. And apparently Chris went to his church and he's really close with Apostle Stevenson.
Who is that?
Apostle Matthew Stevenson. He is the global leader for All Nations Worship Assembly in Chicago. And I have a profound amount of respect for him. And it's out of that respect that I am not going to completely go hard on Chris this week. Because I was reminded this week that we're not supposed to throw people away. Everybody has a soul. And there's nobody who's gone too far for grace not to be there with them. So most of my comments are going to be from Paige's point of view. And I'm going to leave that young man alone because...
Really?
I'm going to leave him alone because I haven't learned anything new. You know what I'm saying? Let me say something to you, Tasha. And I might have to keep the same energy for the rest of the season. I may not succeed, but this is the energy that I want to come from for the rest of the season. There's a difference between the fruit and the root. And I think we've learned enough about Chris's root to know a lot about him. And I think the rest of this season is going to be a whole lot of nasty fruit. Now, listen, roots can be healed. Roots can be delivered. Roots can be set free. Roots can be maintained and changed. People can change. But I think until he changes, this is going to be a long, long ride. And with that, I hand you the floor.
So, for the people that didn't watch it, they came back from the wedding. They got dressed, went to bed. They woke up in the morning, and Chris said he was gonna go downstairs to get some menus for breakfast, and he was gone for hours. Okay, so Paige is like, where is my husband? And I was so mad. I was very, very upset about that. For a number of reasons, but he came back finally, and I'm glad that I'm glad that she didn't confronted him about it, because remember the little girl, I keep calling her a little girl and that makes it sound bad. The short girl and the basketball player, when he left and before he came back, she talked to Dr. Pepper. Or no, he came back and he apologized. And then when she was talking to Dr. Pepper, he apologized. She was talking to Dr. Pepper, and Dr. Pepper was like, that's unacceptable, blah, blah, blah. you need to say that. She was like, no, don't say anything to him. He already said he was sorry. No, we're gonna talk about this. So I appreciate it. She said what she was like, and she came at it like, I like Paige. She came at him with like she wasn't cold, which I think would have probably made things worse. She was warm about it. I really, really like her. I like her softness, and it's very de-escalating. But anyway, so they talked, and he said he had a panic attack when he went downstairs because of.
I'm legit getting mad all over again. I'm legit.
He had a panic attack because of everything that was going on.
Before you go there, let me just say this. I'm looking to the camera when I say this. I am not accepting, allowing, or sanctioning any Paige slander anywhere around me. I'm not letting it happen. I don't care. This show, at this point, it's turning, I just sound so dumb to say, but it's turning into a reality show, like a regular reality show. Yeah. It is one thing to put somebody in a position for heartbreak, but they are putting people in a position for trauma, like legitimate trauma.
But I wouldn't say that about the whole show. This couple is where we is in left field. We thought that about Virginia and Eric. Everybody's like, why would they do this? So far, Virginia and Eric is having a good old time.
I don't even think they should let Chris and Paige's story be told. It's Black History Month. We don't need this during Black History Month. Can y'all save everything Chris and Paige is doing until March, please? Come on, man. Not during Black History Month. Not in Atlanta. We literally, when I say we, I mean everybody in Georgia. We just won Georgia. Let
me finish telling the people what happened. So he said he had a panic attack because everything was going on, and she was like, okay, tell me about it. What's going on? And he said he had a panic attack because
she went to go sit by him and held his hand and reaffirmed.
I like her. I'm liking her approach. I like her approach. Exactly. She really wanted to understand him. She's being very open. She wasn't being cold. She was being very warm. I appreciate that about her. I really like that. Very feminine. Which is what he wants, but he don't even realize that she's the thing. He said that he basically told her that he wasn't attracted to her. And she's confused because not only did they have sex the night of the wedding, which was last night, but they also had sex that morning before he left. And so she's confused. Okay, you know what? We're giving out free tickets to the EOLC conference to Paige and her sister and her best friend because she didn't follow anything that his mom said. She didn't follow anything that her best friend told her. Child. But so go ahead. Go ahead. Before you say what you're about to say, when he was talking to her, before he told her, he had his hand on her lap, and they literally was like, they panned down to his hand and came back up. It was funny to me. I'm like, y'all, this is not giving tender to me. It wasn't tender at all. But go ahead, say what you're gonna say.
Okay. So you're not attracted to her. She's not what you're used to. So you have sex with her that night. Sex with her the next morning. I'm assuming you at least initiate it or let it happen. That after you have sex with her, you leave the room to go get her breakfast. You get lost. She calls you, you ignore you don't answer. When you finally get back, and she's like, "Yo, what's happened? I'm confused on what's going on." You just come in.
He gets back and he's like crying.
No. He gets back and is chilling. He changed his shirt. Hey, you good? You good? What do you mean you're good?
She was like, I'm confused. He's like, what about? Boy, you know what I'm confused about.
Like, oh, you wanted cheese on your eggs? Nick, bruh, what's going on? What do you mean? Why am I confused? I just want to know what's going on.
Mike ain't even watching the show. That's exactly what he said.
And this man said, "My bad. I had a panic attack." And she said, "Oh, you can tell me anything. Don't you worry about it. When we took our vows, it was for better or worse. I am with you. What did you have a panic attack about?" He said, Cause I'm not attracted to you. What? Yo, when you talk about, and this is not even a joke, when you talk about rejection on the highest level, you mean to tell me I married this stranger? You used my body. You left, didn't answer my call, and when you came back, you tell me you had a panic attack, and then when I affirm you to let you know I'm with you and I can handle it, your panic attack is because you're not attracted to me at all. Like, what?
And then to make it worse, he said it's just so much going on, and then it's just like, what did he say? He was like, it's like, I thought that, it would make me be more attracted to you. And it's just like, it didn't. And I'm like, and it's like, what the F? I'm like, oh my, I know he didn't not just say that.
Yo, Mike, he legitimately looked her in the face and was like, yo, my panic attack is just because I'm not. Mike, yo,
he literally said your assessment. So and I've been, everybody who's been watching for the past few weeks, I've kind of given the benefit of the doubt. Some things that he saying.
I'm so glad your Wi-Fi went out, because you're saying your Wi-Fi is going out for good reason, because you're saying some trash right now.
No, I'm trying. No, I'm not. I'm saying everybody knows for the past few weeks I've been giving him the benefit of the doubt, because I feel like people have taken a lot of things he said out of context, or not out of context, but they've been just going too hard on some of the things.
All right, see y'all next week. Love y'all.
Kasaun, sit down. But this week,
now you're giving up on him.
I'm not giving up on him. I'm not gonna give up on the. I'm not giving up, because, like you said, I'm not gonna throw nobody away. But it was very bad. So then they go to breakfast, right? She go to breakfast with his family. He go to breakfast. Did he go to? Yeah, he went to breakfast with her. Did he go to breakfast with her family? Because I don't remember that.
He never went to breakfast with her family. Let me say this. They didn't
show it if he did.
They never showed breakfast with her family. They never showed it. If he did go, now if he went to breakfast with her family and they edited it, I think that's wrong. But they didn't show it.
Yeah. We about to talk about that right now. Chris's father is so disgusting to me. When she, again, he kept saying, what did he say? That she was so beautiful or something like that. It just gave me just cringe all over again.
He said something really creepy, like, you're the perfect, I like you as a daughter-in-law, or something creepy like that. And I was like, Yo, fam.
Everything he says is just giving off so much. I don't even want to say the word because I don't know what happens when you say the words, but just creepy all over. And so,
yeah, please don't get me canceled with you, please.
So she told them that he said to her that she was unattractive, and he said, "Oh, he told you that? Did you know that? That's how you felt that?" It's just his father is just stressing me.
His father's lying.
Oh, for sure.
He knows Chris's type. He knows.
They all do. Because when she said it out of her mouth that he said that I wasn't his type, everybody was like,
You know, part of the reason why I'm not gonna rag on Chris is because the internet is doing an impeccable job of doing it for everyone. I mean,
somebody put a comment on last week's video and was like, "He's the worst, don't it?" I was like, "Whoa, ma'am, the live is over."
People have posted eviction notices with his name on it. I've seen the video, his engagement video has been circulating around Facebook. Like people have posted I bet you've seen Chad's too, right? And
Chad got engaged. Don't play with me.
But you see how you lost your duff though, right?
Don't play with me.
Did y'all see how she said like she lost her breath for a second? What is wrong? As soon as I said, she said,
for a man that I'm not planning on looking up at all. But
sure.
I'm not.
So why did you gasp? What kind of
for the dramatic?
Did you see that Lois Lane cartoon movie? For
the dramatic.
Yeah, all right. Sure. Sure. Tell us anything.
Anywho,
but they have been ragging on Chris online. I think to the point where people have had to he posted something about people giving him death threats, which I don't know if it's true or not. Maybe he's just trying to make himself.
I actually believe it because the internet's wild. I believe that wholeheartedly.
But man, let me tell you something.
People can get extremely wild.
Let me tell you something right now. If Paige was my daughter, Chris be getting a couple death threats. That's trauma. Now, mind you, the family trauma, the trauma that she probably got after that family conversation, to me, is actually worse because I know we're about to talk about it. But what they did, I think, validates what he did. Like,
right.
They tried to excuse what he did.
Yes. Whoo, child. He said, "I raised a gentleman." It's like, no, you didn't. number one, no, you didn't.
He said, "That's it. No, you know I'm good old dad, so I raised a gentleman. So I got to just let you know, man, what you're doing ain't right."
And then his mother was just as bad. She's literally telling them, he told me that I'm unattractive. He had sex with me, told me I was ugly, and abandoned me. And his mom said, "Well, I mean," oh no, the dad was like, "I raised a gentleman. You know what I'm saying? He should have had sex with you," and then said that. And his mom was like, "I mean, did he have a drink? Did he have a drink? That's all it takes."
Right. One singular, like a Capri Sun, and now all of a sudden
it's okay to sleep with me, tell me twice, tell me I'm still not good enough. That's basically what he was saying. I was sleeping with you to try to make you good enough. You're still not. So I had to leave.
And here's the thing. I don't think, as was the narrative in the segment afterwards, I don't think that her point was to try to snitch on him.
Absolutely not.
I think her point was within the context of saying, let me know what I should know about him that would make him do something like this. Like this could be out of character for him, or is this something I need to understand, or like, so this is what happened between us. And she really did go to them like some in-laws. Like,
she was not snitching on him. Before I say what I'm gonna say about that, I'm gonna say right after this. This is a cautionary tale. Sex do not solve your relationship problems. Sex does not solve your relationship problems. Just, I want to put a banner here. And
I mean, it's your show. It's your show. You can do it.
I don't have time. I'm not going to type it up.
The EOLC gang. What up?
That's going to be the hashtag for the EOLC conference.
That's it.
Sex does not solve your relationship problems.
If you're new to the show, the EOLC is eyes open, legs closed. The EOLC gang.
EOLC 2021.
That's it.
EOLC 2021. But I think both of them were using sex to solve their issue, because she at the wedding felt very disconnected from him, and I think that she consented to having sex with him, or even who knows who initiated it. Really, she had sex with him because she wanted to find a connection somewhere, and I said she was going to do it last time. She's going to. That's, you said it. That's the only thing she feels like they were like he was coming in at least 50% on the physical. So she get to connect with him, and then he was using it to find some attractiveness from her. And it just, when you're having relationship problems, sex is only going to help if you're fixing the problems the way they need to be fixed, with all the other methods that will actually fix the problem. But anywho,
I think there's a different way to think about this, though. And this is what I was trying to explain last week. I don't think that she was, as you say, using sex to connect. Kind of.
Really?
Kind of, but not in the way that I think that you're thinking about it. I think that the only time that, like, he showed, when she was just trying to connect to him on like, I'm just trying to get to know you, I feel like there was nothing here because he wasn't attracted. But I think when he wanted something out of her, I think he did what he needed to do to come halfway. Like, I think he showed interest. I think he engaged in conversation. I think he...
Oh, now you think he did?
To get what he wanted.
I think you all are giving him way too much credit. Everybody's saying that he's this master manipulator. Y'all are giving him way too much credit. If he was really a master manipulator, half of the stuff he said at the wedding, he would not have said.
So hear me out.
This guy way too much credit.
So I'm not giving him credit. I'm not giving him credit. What I'm saying is, I don't think it's a situation where she went into it like, as soon as the cameras leave, like she's going for it. I think he was very romantic. Here's the other thing. It makes me mad. This is what makes me so mad about their relationship, is that she really is doing everything right. She's really trying. Like, she's genuinely, she's doing everything right. In my opinion, she's doing everything right. Like, for somebody she just met, he had a panic attack. Now, mind you, when old girl, when he turned out that she was a fugitive before they went to the honeymoon, he didn't rub her leg or nothing. He was like, "What you got locked up for?" Ill. Because he lost out on a trip to Mexico, whatever they was going. And he was like, she got locked up. She can't get on the plane. Crap. But she took it in stride. She went behind him. She was like, listen, when we got married, she gave him the whole Tyler Perry, why did I get married speech. She was nice.
She did an amazing job.
And then when this man tried to inflict all types of rejection on her, she went to his family, like, let me know what I can do. Like, help me understand. Yeah. And after they did that, and he came back more trash. Like, I honestly feel, and I'm going to say this again, I think they should inflict, is that the right word? Some sort of a mercy rule. I think the experts should be allowed to come and say, no more. And then for the rest of the season, you guys are both getting individual counseling. I think because it's like, why y'all doing this to this girl? Why y'all making her do this?
Okay. I have thoughts about that in this situation in particular. Before I say that, I don't think that her going to his parents and talking about the situation was wrong at all. He's saying, you shouldn't talk to my parents about sex. Little do you know, your parents were talking to her about sex at the reception. They opened the door to the conversation.
That's a great point. That's a great point.
It didn't feel it. I don't think it felt uncomfortable to her at all because they opened the door to that. So it was kind of like, okay, you guys were saying to do this. I kind of did. It didn't really work out that way.
You talking good? You making good sense. Your Wi-Fi is back on. That's how you know you're making good. Your Wi-Fi held up just so you can make that specific statement. You are on point. Listen, your Wi-Fi is going to be as good as the point you make. You got to stay in the pocket. With that stuff you were saying last week, your Wi-Fi was like, we don't need to put this out into the atmosphere. Just go straight to YouTube. But what you're saying right now, you're on it.
And so he doesn't know that, and I don't think it would have mattered if he knew or not. But she wasn't wrong. She wasn't wrong. I don't think she was. When after his parents talked to him and they kind of checked him or whatever, when he was crying in that hotel room, I could not stop laughing. Like, boy, if you don't get up, what are you crying for? She ain't shed a tear yet, and you in here crying because you feel like you got in trouble by your parents? Are you grown or not? Calm down.
Yo, so all right. I want to say a couple things based on what you just said. I think Shanice, Iris, and Paige might be the three most wivey married people in the show's history. Like, they came on like, I'm married, everything that comes with marriage. Like, they came into it like they had just been with this person forever. Like, I'm going to treat this like this is somebody that I've gone to premarital counseling with, all of that stuff. Like, they came in married. Mm-hmm. And it's like, for somebody who just does not care as much as him, it's painful to see her be a good wife to him. That is painful to see. And when he came back, to your point, when he came back and said, yo, like, why did you talk to my parents? I feel like you was tattletaling. Tattletaling? Are you serious? Are you kidding me? Your dad essentially told her, I need you to go home and do the busted challenge when he comes home from work because he works hard and he deserves it. First of all, old man, if you don't get out of my face trying to tell me that I need to have sex with this man just because he had a hard day at work, I make more than him. Nobody can confirm his real job. So I don't even know if he has a job. Second of all, you look like John Amos. If you don't get out, you look like Forrest Whitaker, and I am tired. I'm tired of it. Your mom who thinks if he had a drink, just because he had 2 Pacific Cooler Capri Suns, he's allowed to tell somebody that I had sex with you, but I only did it because I thought it might make a connection. Excuse me? You think using my buddy is your just attempt? That's throwing something at the wall to see if it sticks on if you're going to be attracted to me or not. That's so offensive. Yo, if that was my daughter, I would honestly, I would have to swing on him. I would swing on him. I would swing on his daddy, who looks like the cartoon from the Mucinex commercial. I would swing on his. I would knock all of that black Steve Harvey gel out of his pastor's head. I would be swinging on Pastor Cal. I love Pastor Cal, but whoever put this couple together, I would be swing. If Paige was my daughter, I would have to swing. How dare you tell my daughter I wasn't attracted to you, but I figured if I had sex with you tonight and this morning, I thought it might conjure up some feelings. Like, what?
Child. Child. Oh wait, that's what I'm trying to show. Wait.
Oh no, we're not doing that.
Comment?
Oh no. No, I would be showing up on his pastor's virtual service just to tell him about himself. You had to kick me out that Zoom because you ain't just gonna use my daughter. This your boy? This your mentee? Oh no, we're gonna have to talk, champ.
Right. Oh, I forgot about this, Asia. The friend part, I'm not as upset about, but the friend part, I'm not as upset about. He overreacted, yes, but nobody wants their significant other to be telling their friends all their business. I get that, but the parent part, she wasn't tattling. She was just trying to get. I'm saying I'm not as upset about it. I get like, I'm not sure why telling her guy friends about y'all's intimate whatever. Like, I'm just saying, I wasn't as upset about that. He was overreacting for sure.
Wait. I don't understand what space he feels comfortable telling her, like, hey, listen, I'm your husband. When if y'all when you get married, you're supposed to forsake all others. Like, what?
Sir, you take precedence. You didn't even give me my breakfast. What are you talking about?
Right, you ain't even bring the Chick-fil-A back.
You didn't bring the menus up.
You had a panic attack. All right, so let's add this up. I've known you for 3 days. I call my guy friends to make.
Not even 3. That was 2 days. This is the second day.
This is the first morning. This is the first morning.
This is the day after.
All right. So you had sex with me twice. Left, didn't come back, and
didn't answer my calls. Literally abandoned me.
Didn't answer my call. My food was cold, which is like 8th on the list. Terrible thing. And then informed me that you were late because you were having a panic attack. You were literally panicking within yourself because you could not handle the pressure of not being attracted to me after you just had sex with me
Took
twice.
Me to Pound Town.
Okay, I'd rather not use that term, but that's fine. That's fine. Twice, you woke up. Trying again. I call my guy friends to try to make sense of it because after I saw your family, they excused your behavior. They tried to come up with excuses for it. Here's another thing. He's the only person to meet with his family after the lunch. Is that not new to Married at First Sight? Generally speaking, they meet with the other person's family.
Ask what happened.
They meet with the other person's family and then come back together to talk about what they learned from each other's family. Now, all of a sudden, they have this emergency family meeting that somehow prohibits him from going to meet with her family and get checked for all the things he just said to her in the hotel room. Because her family knew about it. They
probably didn't want to meet with him after that. She probably texted them and they said, oh, we're not coming to that.
And he probably got on the phone like, hey, I'm probably not feeling too well. I had some bad Subway. So, I'm really trying to, and
her father probably definitely didn't show up because he was like, okay, well, I'm okay. I'm not to that. That's probably what happened.
This woman said, listen, I just trying to figure out what to do. This morning, we were intimate. And he left and told me he had a panic attack because he wasn't attracted to me. Now, here's a list of things to address if you are the father and mother of said assailant. You can, here's a list of things you can do. And Reese, Mike, y'all let me know if I'm tripping. Here's the list of priorities. It is your job to inform if your son is on the up and up. 1, I think it is important to let said new wife know, oh, hey, by the way, he does have panic attacks from time to time.
Sure.
2, it is not your job to be like, he thinks you're ugly, but we think you're pretty. Incorrect. No, you're attractive. I don't know what he was talking about. 3, it is not
but no, they didn't say. They said, you're a great catch, you're smart, and this and that and this, and then at the end, somebody threw in, you're beautiful. Because they realized that they had forgot to put that in there.
And then he said, you're my type as a daughter-in-law. Your type.
Oh, Jesus.
Then the mother and the dad playing good cop, bad cop on this girl's feelings. So yeah, if my cousin, I don't have any. I didn't grow up with any siblings. I do have a half brother. I just met for the first time. We FaceTime. Story for another day. But if my cousin Fatima, who I think of like a sister, if she called me and told me the story of what's going on, and then I found out the next day that he chewed her out for calling me, I just met you and you are causing me immediate pain.
I met you last night and you weren't answering my calls. I wanted to talk to you about it, but you didn't answer.
So while you were
I had to go talk to somebody else.
After I met with your trash family, I tried to call somebody whose word I can trust. I tried to call some guys who can explain this to me.
She probably did that before she met with the family because he wasn't answering. So she's like, what is going on?
And your response is to tell me, hey, we married. I'm supposed to come first. Yo, listen.
Yeah, it was very. He's talking about, I'm from Chicago, okay? We from a different code, okay? We you don't talk about nobody, mother, they children, they whatever, or they spouse, okay? You was talking about your spouse. Anyway, I'm glad she was honest with her feelings. In that conversation, she, because he was trying to go back and forth with her, and he was like, "I didn't What did he say? Did he say I didn't disrespect you? What did he say? Somebody in the comments, I know, Asia, you probably know what he said. What did he say when it was in the hallway? He kept saying it. She was like, "Yeah, in your perspective, you didn't do anything wrong." And he kept saying it. She was like, "Yeah, from your perspective, but from my perspective, you hurt me."
How you don't like your sex life talked about, but you had a whole segment talking to your pastor about your sex life?
You were talking about it on camera the entire time.
Yeah, I knocked down every girl I ever been with. I want to do it different this time.
The entire time. So, so anyway, the next, or probably that night or the next morning, I don't know what, it's probably the next day, he apologized, and he apologized, and they made up in a sense, which is fine. And they're basically like, we're at rock bottom. We can only go up from here, right? One of them says, I don't think anything worse could happen on the honeymoon.
Dun, 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 dun.
Gold.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, I cackled. That was the best laugh I had of the day. It was hilarious to me. I said, whoo, child. Because, and I'm saying probably an unpopular opinion right now.
All right, I got my hand on the stop cam button. Go ahead. Here we go.
After that apology and that conversation they had, because this is not the first time on Married at First Sight history that a spouse was not attracted to the other person. Not the first time in history. On the first season, the girl who she does everything for the show, she was extremely unattracted to her husband.
They be ragging her. They be ragging her in the comments. I'll be feeling bad.
But now she loves her husband. They have multiple kids, whatever. They're living a great life. Yes.
Yeah.
So this is not the first time in history that an arranged marriage happened and you wasn't attracted to the person. Not the first time in history.
I mean, should we bring up Luke? Goodness
Well,
gracious.
that's not a success story. So I'm talking about with success. Like, this is not the first time.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So
Are we using the word success and Paige and Chris in the same sentence? Because I need to know whether to log
I'm
off.
talking about history. I'm talking about history. Talking about history.
Tasha, if you said
let me give my unpopular opinion real quick. After the conversation that they had before going on the honeymoon, if Chris was not having a baby, I think that they could have worked on their marriage because they both were like, okay, we're going to start from ground zero. Okay. Turn the mic off too. They were going to start from the bottom completely. She accepted the fact, okay, I'm not attracted to you, but I have other qualities, whatever. And he said the same thing. If he was not about to have a baby, I think that they could have worked on the marriage. Do I think they would have made it to the end and said, we're staying together? I don't know. But I think they could have worked on it if he was not having a child. Strictly from the conversation that am I wrong? The conversation that they had, after he apologized, after they were very honest with each other, and she said, okay, I understand this and this, you need to work on your delivery on some things. He said, he had his things to say, she had her things to say, and we're like, we're going to start from scratch, we're starting over, and we're going to see what we can do from here on.
Tasha, I don't know why you say the things you say.
I
don't understand.
Are you serious?
I'm trying to figure out if you really believe that or you're just saying that for the sake of the content.
I do believe that if he wasn't having a baby, I believe that. I believe they could have worked on something. I don't know if they would have stayed married, but I think they would have been able to work on their marriage throughout the season. Mike, you're not even watching the show. How you know I'm tripping?
What do you mean they could have worked on their marriage? He
literally apologized. Angel, what are you talking about?
What did he apologize for?
For everything he said. He was like, okay, I did all of this I was acting like an a-hole. I'm not gonna say the word. I was being an a-hole. I said this isn't this. I was wrong for that. And they both agreed to start from zero. And Paige is all in this.
Are you a minority owner on Chris's Subway in Atlanta? Is that why? Are you contractually obligated to say these things out loud? I literally don't understand. Like, who are you? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Have you ever seen What's Love Got to Do with It?
Yeah, I think so.
Lawrence Fishburne, Angela Bassett, the story of.
I didn't grow up on a lot of Black movies.
Okay.
I didn't grow up very Black culture-y. Don't worry about that.
Okay, it's fine. I'll judge you later. It's the story of Ike and Tina Turner. Well, it's the story of Tina Turner.
Oh yeah, I seen that.
Yeah, and there was a point in the movie about halfway through where Ike apologized to Tina. He said, "I'm sorry. I'm going to do better. I'm so sorry. Just please come back home." And you know what he did for the next half an hour? He did exactly everything he had just apologized for. What are you They had a fresh start the day after they got married. And here's the question. I think it's the same question we got to last week. Do you believe that he is genuine? Do you believe that he's sincere? Was the apology sincere? Had he changed from the person that required the apology?
This is what I think. Can't see my hands. I'm like, this is what I think. I think that Chris is not. I think everything that I think he's very erratic. I think that he has a lot to work on with Ayanla. I think who he is being is what he knows. He's being himself. So in the moment, because I don't think he's been lying about who he is. Like, he's literally saying these trash things. He's been upfront with the ex. He's been upfront saying to her friends that she's not what he wants. Like, she's not what he goes for. She's not a trophy wife. The trash that he's being is him being honest. He's not lying about those things, right? He's saying what he feels in the moment. He doesn't have a filter. He's saying what he feels in the moment. And I don't think that he's smooth enough to play these different roles with her in the moment. He's not that smooth at all. He's not giving me master manipulator that everybody thinks he is. He's not that good. And so in the moment, I think that whoever he talked to, because I'm sure he went and had a talk with somebody and they was like, okay, these things that you're doing is not right. Because when he came back, he was smiling and stuff and trying to be, nice to her and things like that. I think he had a talking to with somebody and they were like, okay, you might not think she's attractive, but this isn't this. You know that these things go. Somebody had a talking to with him. So he apologized for what he did because he was wrong. Everybody knows that. And he is willing to see what happens. I do believe that. So, because I feel like what he says in the moment is how he feels in the moment. That's what I think. I don't think that he's good enough. I don't think he's good enough to be this master manipulator. He's not. So I do think his apology was sincere because he knows he hurt her feelings. And so he was apologizing for that. And I believe that he plans on trying. Because even when he was like, give me a kiss, she rolled her eyes and everything. Like, boy, don't fake whatever. But like, I think that he is going to put an honest effort. Even though he knows the cameras are there, I don't think that he's not a good actor. So he's just not a good actor to me. So as a result, after the conversation that they had, I think if he wasn't having a baby, I think that they would have at least had fun. They have a lot of things in common. She is a lot of, if not all of what he's looking for in a woman, aside from her looks. I think after getting to know each other, they would have had some fun. I don't know if they would have stayed together, but I think they would have been able to grow in some capacity. That, I'm sure, is an unpopular opinion, but I'm trying to be objective about this, and I feel like other people are giving him way too much credit where he doesn't deserve it.
I disagree, obviously.
Okay. Okay.
I think everybody lauding his honesty. I think I understand what you're saying. I agree with parts of it, most of it, a majority of it, honestly. But it's
so
just,
what part are you not agreeing with?
Oh, I'm gonna get to it. It's just certain parts that I am not sure there's honesty surrounding the situation. And I don't think it's just him. And maybe it's like maybe it's not honesty through omission. I don't know, but it's just certain parts of certain things just don't add up. So he said that when he was talking to the pastor, like this is the first time in his life he just wanted to get to know the person. He just did not want it to be physical. And every other time he started with the physical, and it didn't work out. Mm-hmm. So this is the first time he wanted to go into a marriage without it being physical, just get to know her. And then in an attempt to build an attraction, it's just it just doesn't.
Like I said, I think he believes what he's saying in the moment. I think when he was talking to the pastor, he had, he was like, I want to do it right. I want to do it right. The wedding came. He's like, and then he's very erratic. I don't think he was lying when he said that. I think that's what he wanted to do in the moment. I wanted to try something different. And then ish hit the fan and he threw all that to the wind. Like, I don't think that I think he's very erratic.
So let me ask you a question. Do you believe he really had a genuine panic attack?
I don't know.
But if you believe that his greatest flaw is his raw honesty, then you have to believe he had a genuine panic attack.
Okay, then yes, I believe he had a panic attack.
Okay. I don't know. I'm just saying I don't know. And to be honest, I am going to come with the same energy that I had at the beginning, which is I'm not going to make the center of my commentary about him. I really think the experts should have put enough together to exclude him from contention of the season. Like, if they really cared about these people, they really should have known that wasn't right. Like, he had just proposed.
Yeah, that should have been a thing out of it. But what did hold on, let me go back to what somebody said. I think Reese said something about that. She said Dr. Pepper was on the pre-show saying he was chosen because he presented himself as being healed and ready for marriage. Plus, he was a good catch.
I don't know. I think I've had my concerns from the beginning. I say Michael alert. I'm still not exactly sure that all of the things that he is.
Okay. I also think he has low emotional intelligence.
Do you believe everything he said about his career?
What about what?
He's from Chicago, but he went to
Florida and was homeless.
He went to Phoenix for manager school. And don't laugh, because if you're saying he's honest, you got to say you believe all of this stuff. Then he went homeless and then came back, a $12,000 check, and then he's just super successful. And all these people want to be with him for his money. Do you believe all of that about him?
I believe the storyline. He might overinflate it a little bit, like bragging about.
That's what we call it. That's what we call lying nowadays.
I'm the youngest. Like, you don't have to say I'm the youngest owner. Okay, like you can just say I own a franchise. Okay, we get it. You're gonna be tired of me saying this. Everybody watching this, you're gonna be tired of me saying this. But I think the focus of the show is just trying to get people to decision day and trying to push them together to make it work. But I wish there was some way where we can focus on an individual's well-being, because I don't think he's a bad person. I just don't think he's ready for marriage. And sometimes this show can make it look synonymous. Like, if somebody's not ready for marriage, it doesn't make them a bad person. Sure. But for somebody who's not ready for marriage, sure, this can highlight you as a bad person, sure, in the eyes of the public. Yeah.
And I just think he's not ready for marriage, and he has to play up a lot to make it look like he is. And he's clearly not. And there's nothing that the experts or the station or the TV program, whatever TV program, I sound like somebody you would date. And, and there's nothing that they have in place to help somebody on a personal level. They just try to prop them up to make them good enough to try to see if they can work with another person. And
I don't even think he's ready for, like, I don't think the reason he's not ready for marriage, and I'm not saying you're saying this, but I don't think the reason that he's ready for marriage is even because he was just engaged recently. I just don't think he's ready for marriage in general. He doesn't, his emotional intelligence is really low. He doesn't, it's a lot of things.
You know,
to what you were saying, you feel like they should have taken them out, whatever. But as a result of this conversation that I'm talking about that they had when he apologized and all that stuff, and they decided as a pair to start from the bottom, I don't feel like the experts or anyone felt the need to pull them out because they resolved that particular issue on their own. And that's why I'm saying if this foolishness was not coming, I think that they probably could have done something. So
somebody said he need to marry himself first. Nope, because he's not his own. He's not his own type, so he will reject himself and then use himself and then leave himself. So that's not going to work.
Sure, easy. I'm just saying he has a lot to work on, even in that. We all do, right? Okay.
Yeah, but you know what we mean. I hope you know what we mean. Like, obviously, nobody's perfect. Nobody's
prepared completely.
Nobody's 100% same as parenthood. Like, there's no way to 100% prepare yourself. We're just saying, in a healthy place to move forward in a relationship. Like, in my opinion,
I don't have much more to say about them. That was my last opinion about what happened in the episode. What didn't you agree with what I was saying? I don't, maybe I missed the point of what you were saying.
Wait, about Chris and Paige?
Yeah, what part did you disagree? You said you agreed with most of it, but you disagreed with.
I don't know. We've been talking about them for an hour. We say so. What was you saying? I forgot.
I think that I said unpopularly.
Oh,
that's the word.
So I think that you think that he has low EQ, and I don't think he has low EQ.
Okay.
I think he's very knowledgeable about what he's doing. I stick to my theory that he's very knowledgeable about the camera and that he knows he's on a reality show and he came to be on a reality show. And I think he is very aware of his reputation as he is on camera.
But do you see how, like, he does the things in his truth and then it's like, maybe it's like an old shoot thing, but he's only done it really like once every other time. It's just his real way.
It's the first day, Tasha. He hasn't had a chance to do anything else.
He had plenty of chances to calm down. Plenty. But we done with them.
Yeah, until next week when a baby comes out. Like, obviously. And here's the funny part. This is the calm before the storm. This is the easy part. This was the good day.
Yeah. It depends on who applies for the show.
I think Bone Crusher's single. I think one of the Yin Yang twins is still single. I think two of the background dancers from Usher's You Ain't Gotta Call video is still single. We could have got Annie. We could have flown down somebody Greg knew from North Carolina from the previous season. Like, then here's the thing. Just leave Paige off the show. Why put her through that trauma just to match her up and get, you know what it was? It's your fault. Tasha, it's your fault. It's all y'all fault.
No, it's because on paper that they are a good match. That's why they matched them. Because on paper they are a good match.
Y'all wanted 2 black couples per season, and they had to find somebody. So they done went to somebody's church and dragged out the first person who said they got money and had a business and had their stuff together. That man, it's Black History Month, right? Last Black History Month, that man was engaged.
Poor thing. Literally. So
just leave Paige off. We good with Brianna. We ain't even talking about Brianna and Vincent yet.
But I hope you guys are not just ignoring the fact that on paper they are a very good match, right? We do realize that. We do realize that that's why they were matched. On paper, they are a perfect match.
Tasha, we are 1 week from him having a baby on.
Do we realize?
Hold on, why are you raising your voice? Why are you raising your voice? Hold on. Why are you raising your voice?
Because I just feel like everybody's ignoring the fact that they're like, how? Why would they match them? Because on paper, they're a perfect match. Literally.
Tasha, if you was with a man who was emotionally abusing you, I don't care.
Paper, they are a good match. That's why they got matched, because they're a good match on paper.
Listen, when a man starts emotionally abusing you, we throw the paper away. Why do you still have the paper? Why are you holding on? Why is that paper still on your refrigerator? Shred that paper, throw it away, chew some gum, spit it into the paper, and throw it out. The paper's done.
I'm just saying. People
Today is
why would they match them? Okay, that's the reason. Was it a good result? No, but that was the reason.
I'm gonna ask you a question. You understand why they were matched, but do you agree? Do you agree that they never should have? Yeah, put in the comments. What kind of paper? What kind of paper does Tasha have right now? It's just all types of trash paper. Do you agree that they never should have let him on the show? Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Which means on paper, they never should have been matched if he should never have been on the show.
I think I heard that they like expedited this particular season's process. So I feel like they didn't give enough time to do the psychological. He needs a lot of psychological evaluations. You seen that TikTok? No, okay.
I haven't seen it, but I'm sure it's on your paper that you'll send a PDF of to me.
You know, we don't communicate. So
what other kind of paper we got?
wait. For sure. Okay, so anywho, maybe.
They might be the only 10 people in Atlanta who don't have COVID. So
no, they probably got it too. Ain't no mask.
Yo, did you notice nobody wore a mask at all? Leaving the hotel, coming back from the hotel, checking into the hotel. Nobody was wearing a mask. But
I'm done talking about them. This last couple gonna take about 4 minutes because they a match made in heaven. Brianna Vicente is the breakout, the fan favorites, of course. These are them. Them are these. Okay. Brianna Vicente, I have 2 lines of notes about them. They're doing great. You're doing great, sweetie. They're gonna make it. All right, okay. I don't know what to say. I have like random stuff. Like I peeped her Dominican Republic mask. Like where'd she get that from? How she know her husband was Dominican? Did he get that for her? That's cute. Okay.
Yo, I just want to say, maybe it's just me. That show was 2 hours long last night?
Yes.
I just want to say, first of all, it felt like Chris and Paige was like an hour of it by themselves. It felt like too much Chris and Paige.
They have the dramatics.
But man, Brianna and Vincent, they were just, I feel like they got shown the least. But wasn't it such a breath of fresh air?
It was like, oh yeah, it was great.
I was like, oh, that's why we watched this show.
It was great.
It's for moments like that.
She did a great job. These women are doing a great job.
I feel really happy. I want to say to a lot of people, I try to tell y'all, Brianna wasn't as much of a personality
as her family was making her out to be.
She's cool. Just chill out.
And they still did it at brunch. He said something, and it was like, yeah, because okay, like.
But you know what though? I think it's because they haven't really seen her in too many relationships, and I don't think she's had developed relationships with people. So I think the way that she can be, they're just assuming it's not based on anything that she's done.
Sure.
Because when he found out his grandmother had a heart attack, this was a really touching moment. And I was like, okay, if if they show their storyline more, I can make it through this season. Because man, watching Whitney and Bobby over there was really getting to me.
Asia, I have mixed feelings about this because I feel like his family was like hyping up, like they were making it seem like he rages or something. And he was like, it's hard to even get me mad. And I felt like they were making him out to be like the Hulk or something. Like, I didn't like that they did that.
Well, here's the thing. Here's what you have to remember. He is Dominican. And
what does that mean?
Meaning, so like friends of mine who are Dominican, when they get into like arguments, like, all right, so I'll say it like this. I grew up in a house with just me, my mother, and my grandmother, right? Our house was very, very quiet. But my wife, she has a sister, and their house was really loud. And when they argue, they like shout. But they can like yell at each other and scream. And then the next day they're like laughing and joking and go to the movies. That's just how they are. I wonder if because their household might have been like really loud, there are a lot of guys. It could be a lot of shouting. Who knows and also who knows how he gets when he might be drunk or parties. We don't know that yet.
We do. We seen him drunk.
Well, first of all, you was ready to give him a Nobel Peace Prize on the first episode because he gave 3 pairs of Sperry's to the homeless, and then you turned on him the next week. Yeah, then you turned on him the next week when he had one conversation with a young lady. But
young lady.
she was a young lady.
You're right.
But I'm just saying, you don't know. Maybe he grew up in a household where being loud and boisterous was just the way things are. Some people have.
But and the way that they're saying, the way that it was kind of, it was, if it was me, I would have been scared. And I feel like it raised a flag in her mind. That's why she brought up them. She was like, they said that no, she didn't. She didn't say that. She said, I asked them, these women on here, they got some good feminine approaches. She said, I asked them how you are when you get mad, and they said, this, and he was like, what? Like the way that he's literally saying, I literally do the exact opposite of what they told you.
I think it's somewhere in the middle. Sometimes the worst record of who you are at your core is people who've known you all your life. Because sometimes people who know you all your life can never count for the change that you've made. You know what I'm saying? Like some people always see you as the little kid. Some people always see you as the baby. Some people don't even are able to take into account how you've grown, how you've changed, and then who you are now that I don't live with y'all no more. So you're like, oh, don't like my mom still to this day. She like, don't you love such and such? And I'm like, I haven't done that since I was 16. Like I left the house when I was 17 years old. So like, I don't even do that anymore. So it's like the account that you have of me may not be who I am, but it's probably somewhere in the middle. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe
somewhere in the middle.
But yeah, the way that she was, affection, like give him an affection when he's going through a hard time. She didn't, she would have to be a horrible person to be like, you're ruining our honeymoon. Like, what, girl? Like, I feel like somebody would have to be trash to do that.
That was such a great moment to me because it seem like the number one quality that he wanted in a prospective wife was someone who was supportive. That's the one thing he felt like he was missing.
And he's getting it over and over again.
And his first real vulnerable moment, and the one thing she's able to show after her family was like, oh, you don't know, like basically making her out to be this cold person, is that she showed him the utmost support.
Yep.
And it was the day after they had just got to their honeymoon. Mm-hmm. First of all, Las Vegas. All these other people that went to Wakanda and Cabo. Hey, old girl Haley was like, "Oh, I went there 7 times last year
alone."
Jacob was like, "And they don't even have a man-made beach, so I don't even care about Las Vegas." But yo, I thought it was just so dope that he came into his last relationship didn't work, and he told the family this. Mm-hmm. The last relationship didn't work because she wasn't supportive, and like the first opportunity that he needed support, and she it was just that was the moment that.
It was beautiful.
You know what I'm saying? It's just oof. That's the chaser for the rest of this trash that we have to consume. Like goodness, thank you. Finally, some romance and love.
Um, yeah, all the stuff that his family was saying, I don't believe them. Not that I don't believe them, but they were like, he's a workaholic. He only works. Like he's gonna make time for her. That's not gonna be an issue, I don't think.
Oh, here's another part that stood out to me. Um, her family, her mom, really threatened. First of all, let me tell you why Vincent's dope. Her mom tried to threaten him. Like, yo, we heard you trying to do your own business. What's your plan B? Are we really care about him? What's up? First of all, I agree with if anybody believes this, I'm fine if they just do a break off show with just Brianna and Vincent. Like, can we just focus on love here? I don't want to watch all this other. But
You're right.
I just want to say this.
You're right, Reese. You're right.
Yeah, I agree. The editing has to be taken into account. I just want to say this. If your family doesn't threaten somebody, a prospective significant other, they don't love you. They don't love you.
I don't care about you at all.
At all. Let me tell you, you know what I can tell about her family? Her family, just like my family. We're going to treat you like we hate your guts until we know you. And then when we trust you, we'll fight. We'll kill somebody for you. We have done my family. Well, I can't really say that on air, but I
be opening my heart.
Oh, for real?
We
got some things from last week we haven't talked about on air. If anybody was on last week, we did leave some things unresolved, so we can get to it if you want. Yeah. But I appreciate when I see black people on this show. I want to see. I don't want to say it like that. Anyway,
no, say it like that.
It's good. It's just good to see people that I would see in my own family. Like just, you know what I'm saying? Oh, okay. Asia, since you asked.
What are you about to say?
Just watch last week's episode, and I will just say that there is a prospective young man and 4 words that should lead you to a story that if anyone has Tasha's number, just ask her on a private, blow her phone up. You know what I'm saying? You don't got to do it during this. But here, I'll just say 4 words that might lead you to the story.
There's a Taco Bell endorsement in there
somewhere. Quiero Taco Bell. Just ask about mild sauce and put some eye emojis and EOLC. Go for it. All right.
Taco Bell is endorsing the EOLC Conference 2021. That's our first sponsor.
That is a fact. And apparently a very random but specific Subway in Atlanta. But I feel like Chris and Paige are going to be the talk of everybody the whole season. But I want to talk about Brianna and Vincent because I feel like that's the 2 of them are the reason why you make the show. That's Deanna and Greg. That's that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
Amani and Woody.
Oh, okay. I did. I listen. No. Oh yeah. Originally, I did not pick them to stay together, but yes. My Miles and Karen, I didn't pick them to stay together either. I was wrong.
I did. I picked them to stay together the whole time.
I was wrong. I was 100%, and I was happy that I was wrong. I was happy. I would have been happy to be wrong about Chris and Paige. I would. And I would be really sad if Brianna and Vincent don't make it. But everything so far tells me that she is. They like each other. They're really physically attracted to each other. Mm-hmm. She tried to throw a little flirting line in. She was like, he's good at everything. We'll see. I was like, okay,
yeah, she got her little she got a little sass and freaking her.
I wonder, I hope that his grandmother's okay.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they would know at this point. Yeah, like I said, I don't have much to say about them. He's also getting into real estate. You know what I'm saying? Atlanta, you gotta buy the block. Like, who did that? What's his name? Jeezy. Jeezy, he owns most of the homes in Atlanta. So,
I mean, the house is
$25. Um, and then the only other comment I had was that he's doing amazing with branding for his business because he has VMR on everything that showed up on camera. His mask, his shirt, his phone, everything got his business name on there, and he's doing the opposite of Chris, and he's gonna get more business, and Chris is going to lose all of his businesses.
Yo, there are a few Married at First Sight Facebook groups. This is not a messy program. We are a very wholesome program. This is a wholesome review.
Yeah.
We so wholesome. We don't even have a name for this yet. We just be like, hey, here we are. So, but if you would like to gander into what the internets are saying, there's information out there for you to accumulate.
I don't have Facebook.
You don't have Facebook?
Mm-mm.
Just cause?
It was too much.
Facebook is too much?
I only have Instagram.
Really?
I gave up Twitter like 10 years ago.
10 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Too much.
Just cause?
No, it was just too much.
Wow. Okay. I didn't know people chose which social media. You know, you could do all of them, but I respect it.
Too much. I'll be on there all day. Instagram's good enough for me.
That's what. It's like you just took Destiny's Child and you were like, no, I'm good with just Kelly. Okay.
I have a friend that loves Kelly Rowland only. So yeah, that's all I have to say about them. I think that they are doing great. I'm interested to see how the honeymoon goes. But I don't yeah. I think that we'll get it. I think that we'll get it from them because especially now that Brian and Vincent are literally the flagship couple of this season, that for everyone who's like, okay, we're over the toxicity, but everyone loves Brian and Vincent. So I think that we'll see more of them.
Can I make one more point?
Yeah.
I am severely disappointed at how much the experts have cut themselves out of the show. They should be on call, shouldn't they?
So what I heard is that apparently it's not that they're not there talking to the couples, it's that they just cut them out of the airing. Because, for example, somebody was saying that Dr. Viviana, she has this outfit that she wears or whatever, and she said she was gonna wear it like a third time, and she was like, the first 2 times I wore it, they ain't even put me in the episode, so I ain't wearing it no more. It must be bad luck. So it's like they be there doing the stuff, but they just don't show them.
I feel like the whole point of having experts is when Chris and Paige are having that moment and they're back at the hotel arguing. That's a moment where Pastor Cal should pop up out of the hotel room.
We gonna hear from them on a honeymoon for sure. They might fly down to Vegas themselves.
But by this time, by the honeymoon, it's already going to be patterns put in place that are going to follow these couples to decision day. They're already negative patterns already set in place. Like, it's over now.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Like, Haley and Jacob, like, I feel like there should be at least one expert to be like, hey, so tell me something about yourself other than steak and eggs before we send you back in the room with her. Just tell us something else about yourself. Like, coach them through something. I feel like Paige and Chris, it feels like there's less and less of them every season for some reason. Maybe it's just me. It might just be me.
No, it's not just you. People notice that for sure. For sure.
It just feels
so hopefully we see them more often.
Yeah.
I mean, people are gonna be fighting and stuff, so we'll probably see them soon enough. But yeah, we 2 1/4 in. So I'm gonna say thank you to everyone who chimed in. Thank you so much for everybody who keeps chiming in. We'll see you, Asia and Easy and Mike and Reese. Thank you for joining us today.
I saw Reggie in here somewhere.
Reggie too. Yeah, we'll be back next week. Don't forget that next week we'll be on here at 9 and not at 8. And if you do have time before this show at 9, go to Kasaun's house party. at event. What's the website?
It's kasaun.eventbrite.com. The link is in my IG bio. It's my IG right here. It's free. Right on Zoom, live. We'll be there for an hour. And then as soon as we're done there, it'll be live music, stand-up comedy. We'll play a couple games. And then it's co-hosted by my mom, and I pretty much make fun of her the whole time. And and then right after that, we're gonna hang out there, and then we'll come right over here to talk about this Maury paternity test that we'll I don't know what we're reviewing next week, so we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, you guys have a good night. Thank you, Kasaun. Talk to y'all later.